Now you will go get dressed. You will come with us and you will pray. And when we come back, you want to go. Good luck. But it will be with no help from the family you so desperately want no part of.
Fresh Kills and is an absolutely beautiful film from start to finish. I love that it takes the female-driven approach to this genre, unlike most other works in this genre. How did the concept for that first come about for you?
Well, I grew up around families like this, seeing this, running from girls like Odessa, Connie. And it always stayed with me is like, why are they so angry? And the violence that I grew up around from the women was something that I really couldn't explain. It was a lot more brutal than that of the guys. And it really did stay with me. So it was all the way back then that I had always wanted to be a filmmaker. I didn't know what that actually meant when I was a kid, but so I clock a lot of things. So I clocked it from back then. And then as I got out into the world and started my career and just being female, and then told in the business I was too this, I was too that, not enough of this, not this enough, not that enough. And I remember feeling a familiar rage that I saw in these young women as my own. And I thought, well, I thought they were just angry about their fathers being in the mafia, but actually that wasn't it. It was about being trapped into a spot you didn't choose. So they were born into this lifestyle, and that rage was something I understood. It's something I started to understand as whether it's generational trauma that you're breaking or abuse or whatever it is that you're born into, do you have the ability to get out of that and change that? And that's really the question of the movie. But it was also being an Italian American and seeing mafia film after mafia film after mafia film, and they're still making more mafia films, which God bless, people love them, great, but we have never seen the story through the female's point of view, never. And I thought, why is that? These women, you usually see in these movies, a woman comes in and you'll see her arm put something on the table, the guy's all sitting doing business, or you see some woman on the pole in the background naked dancing, but you really never see it through her lens. And I just thought it was time to show, to flip the tables a little bit.
Well, and I'm glad you did, because it really does just open up a whole new world of storytelling for this genre. And I love that you mentioned the feeling of, I mean, I don't love that you felt it, but I do love that you mentioned the feeling of being trapped, because Emily brought that up when it came to Rose's character. And so I'm curious, it's clear that you put a lot of your own personal touches on Rose as well as Connie. What was the casting searching like for Emily and for Odessa?
Crazy. I knew when I wrote this, I was like, who on earth is going to capture these girls that were frightening? Like who? And I would try and tell my casting director, who was great, but I would try and tell her, like, sweet in Staten Island is very different than sweet in like Ohio. It's a very different thing. So even Emily had to have this thing underneath. And what I always would tell the actresses is, that you're always afraid. And that's how I grew up, always afraid. So, and then with Odessa, who's, the women, they're just brilliant. With Odessa, a friend of mine knew that I was struggling. I was like, again, wonderful actresses came in, but that kind of rage, like, you need to understand that from somewhere in your own world or psyche, or something needs to really hit that honestly to be able to portray that. And a friend of mine called me and she said, you have to watch this kid on some show. And I went and I thought I was going to watch an episode, and I watched the whole thing. And by the end of the thing, I was like, that's her. And I said, I need a meeting with her immediately. Great story. Met Odessa on Zoom. She was late to the meeting. She popped in and literally like this, what the fuck? This script is great. And I was like, oh my God, that's Connie. I was like, that's her. And I literally gave her the job right there. And she was like, are you serious? And I said, yes, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. So it was a journey to get them, but they're brilliant.
It was a worthwhile journey to get them, it sounds like. And I love that for Odessa. She is such a personality, and I love it. She captured Connie so well. I see I'm almost out of time, so before I let you go, I was glad to see Jackie come back for Blue Bloods. And I know that it's coming to an end now, though, and I'm curious for you, what is it like looking back on that journey, and how do you feel about it coming to an end now?
Everything has to come to an end, and I think they're smart to end it now. It's been a long time. I had some great times. Of course, I had some not some fun times, but I love Donnie. I met some great people there, and honestly, the fans. I still get asked, "Are you gonna go back to Blue Bloods?" It's like that's like 10 years ago. It's honestly, you really that really warms my heart. So I couldn't be mad at it. So yeah, it was nice to go back.
Well, I love that the fans have been so supportive of you as well. And I hope that they are as supportive with Fresh Kills, because I can't wait to get the word out there for this film. Truly, it's beautiful. And like we've talked, it's so new and fresh for the genre. I can't wait for people.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Have a great weekend.
Yes, you too.
Everything I do is for the betterment of my girls. Don't you know that? Don't you trust me?